So in our last video, or one of our last videos, we asked our viewers if they have any questions, pertinent questions that they'd like to ask us. It helps us to know what people are interested in and to assist wherever we can. We're happy to say that we've got quite a few questions that people have asked. We don't say that we're experts and know everything, but we'll give you our opinion. Keep the questions coming and we'll provide you with some answers. When is there not job uncertainty? When is there not retrenchment? I mean, yes, we go through ups and downs, but buying your home or buying a property, but especially it said home buyers, first-time home buyers. So that implies that it's your house that you want to live in. Buy the bloody house. Take the chance. If you lose your job and you get retrenched, sell the house. That's it. Maybe even you might take a knock. God forbid it's an economic crash. But then everybody's buggered anyway. I mean, nothing's worth anything in that instance. We're all losing money. We're all there together. Take the leap. Don't take life too seriously. Get in there. The time you waste on its high retrenchment numbers and its job uncertainty, what are you waiting for? You're going to wait for low retrenchment numbers and job certainty? What if it never comes? And then the guy that went and bought the property 10 years ago has paid off half of the property, and he's made money for himself. So stop buggering around. Everybody needs a house. Go get a house. Buy your house. Take pride. Make it work. Make a plan. Yes, you might get retrenched, but make a fucking plan. Get another job. Make yourself indispensable in the company that you're in. But you're going to be the last to be retrenched. If the company goes under and you're retrenched, make sure still that you're the best person there. You find another job. Work to such a way and learn that you don't need to find a job, that you can start your own business, if that's what you want to do. Most people don't want to, but people get retrenched and then people get hired again. So what are you waiting for? If you've got a job, take the opportunity. Use the fact that you've got a pay slip that the bank is willing to finance against your pay slip. Because at the moment, you are able to get finance to buy a house. If you get retrenched and you don't have a job, you can't apply for the bank for that finance. That suddenly is an asset that you had or a possibility that you had that gets closed to you. If you are retrenched, but you've already bought the house and you owe the bank the money, at least you've got the house. They're not going to say to you, hey, are you still employed? And if you're not employed, we're going to take the house from you. Then you've got to make a plan to pay it. But at least you're able to get the house. So people without a job, without this steady income, struggle to buy a house. They can only buy cash. And who's got the cash for buying houses? It's too expensive. So use the opportunity and go and buy. Your mortgage finance or your home loans are the lowest form of interest and the cheapest cost of debt that you can possibly get. So fucking don't take the credit card debt at 20 or 30% a year. I don't know what it's sitting at. Buy the house at 10%. Get in that thing. And that's an asset that's increasing. So get in the market and go for it. I'm not saying just go be crazy and buy something that's overpriced and that's not good value. I've gone through it in the past. Make sure, like with my rules, that whatever you buy, that at least you can rent it out and cover a large portion of the bond repayments or just the interest on the bond. There's a difference between the bond repayment and the interest on the bond. The interest on the bond is what is the interest charge? So if it's R1 million and it's 10%, it's 100,000 Rand a year divided by 12, whatever that is. But you are also paying off your bond over 20 years, 25 years. I don't know if they go to 30 years, some bonds, I think. So there's a little bit of capital, the million you lent that you have to pay back. But on a long-term bond, it's not much different between what the interest payment is and the capital repayment is. But make sure you cover the interest. And yes, it's your own home, so you're not going to be covering the interest, but at least you know that if something had to go wrong and you had to downscale, move out of your own house, the house that you own, and go and rent something cheaper for a short term until you get back on your feet. You've got that house and you can rent it out and you can still keep your house. And you can cover the cost to the banks by getting a tenant in. And then when you get back on your feet, thank you, Mr. Tenant, please vacate the premises. I'm going to move back into my house. And maybe that's a year, maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's 5 years. But in those 5 years, your value of your property has gone from R1 million to 1.5 million Rand or more. And you built a 500,000 Rand of equity with another guy paying off your bond, covering your interest. So even though you were down and out, you didn't have you had to go and find jobs and do this and that. At least you've got an asset. And I mean, imagine that. You might be down and out, not have a job, but you're still making 500 grand on a R1 million property in 5 years. I mean, why not? It's silly not to go and do it. So that's it. So don't wait for better times. Act now. It's better to act now than to sit and wait and sit on the fence and be a fence sitter for your whole life.